welcome to another Secret Entourage Academy episode. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with the founder of RA Domain, Aaron Pitman, who's not only an angel investor, a book author, a self-made millionaire, and he just bought an R8. So he's on top of my favorite guys to interview today. So welcome, Aaron. We appreciate you being on the Secret Entourage Academy and talking to us today.
Thanks for having me. Look forward to it.
So, I think you yourself have followed Secret Entourage, and kind of these interviews are about the value we bring to our listeners in terms of what can we do differently. And I know for you, it's always been kind of looking out and finding the best way to outsource work so that you could keep working on different projects at the same time. So I want to kind of focus on that today, but I also want to go back, and obviously for the audience that may not know you, you have a very interesting background. We're going to talk a little bit about that MLM situation and a little bit about your background in terms of the domain business in general. Can you speak or give an introduction of yourself in terms of how you started outside of the whole lemonade stand thing with two people?
Sure. So, I've always been an entrepreneur ever since I was a young kid, but my true entrepreneurial career started when I was 18 years old. I was enrolled in university studying to be a doctor in pharmacy, and through that process, I met a friend. Wasn't a friend at the time, but he introduced me to multi-level marketing. Got involved in the multi-level marketing business and learned a whole world of things. I learned how to negotiate. I learned how to sell. I learned how to do team dynamics. I learned the power of no and rejection and all kinds of things. And that was an amazing stepping stone for me to learn the basics of entrepreneurship 101 for me. And that kind of segued and stepstoned into my main career, which is the internet, from 2009. So do you want me to tell the story?
Yeah, please. Before you kind of talk about the internet side of things, I want to kind of take a second because you're the only person we've ever interviewed who has an MLM background and who's kind of used it successfully. So do you mind if we share maybe like the next 5 minutes talking about the MLM beginnings you had? So tell me a little bit about, was MLM really for you what it is today, or were rules different then in terms of what MLMs were? Because I know that industry's evolved to have a pretty bad reputation today.
Sure. It had just as bad of a reputation when I was doing it as it does today. And I think it's funny because, most people, you can create a bad reputation of anything. There's just such a large volume of people who do MLM that probably aren't meant to do MLM, and they get in with bad expectations, or someone tells them that they're going to get rich quick and it's going to be the easiest thing in the world. I can tell you a fact. It is harder to make money in MLM than it is to start your own business outside of an MLM all day long. The people who make 6 and 7 figures a year in MLM, I have the utmost respect for them because there's so many different variables. At the end of the day, you don't own the company. You're a distributor for somebody else, and rules can change that you don't have